And welcome back to the HTMi Culinary TV. Today the theme is sugar. Sugar is good for eating, making sweets, candy and the like, but sugar we can use also for decoration. Maybe you've seen some old black and white movies from the 40s, from the 50s, the old western where somebody gets a bottle and smashes it over somebody's head, or the head goes through a window. This is not glass, this is made from sugar. Once we boil sugar, the texture, the consistency, the clarity is just like glass. It breaks like glass, it looks like glass, but it's not as dangerous as glass. So therefore we want to do something with this sugar, and we can use that also for decoration. Beautiful showpieces, centerpieces, something to make a nice decoration for your plate, for your table. And what do we need? Not much really. We use sugar, water, or nowadays we use also Isomalt, which is a kind of special sugar. It's available on the internet and most pastry shops carry this item. And we need some molds. Today we have different molds here, as you can see. This is all made from silicon. So now let's start cooking. Right, we have an induction cooker, which is very good. We have a steel pan which works with the induction cooker. As I mentioned, we use Isomalt. Isomalt is like a sugar-like substance. It's almost as sweet, but the advantage is it doesn't crystallize. So we pour some in the pan, start the pan up, and you can use two ways of this Isomalt. You just can dry method, which is just heating it, waiting till it's melted and then use it. I prefer the wet method, which is basically we add a little bit of water to it, just to make it a little bit wet. Just a touch more. There you go. Now the sugar and the water will melt together. Then through boiling, the water will evaporate. But then we have to see that we have the right temperature. Now if you can see, we have several thermometers. We have the digital ones, and we have also the good old-fashioned candy thermometers. Either one will do. What we have to pay attention to is that we cook the sugar to exactly 160 degrees centigrade. That's important because if we use the sugar before, it will be too soft, and if we cook the temperature higher, the sugar will start yellow, brown until black. So now we cook the sugar. Once it starts boiling, all the sugar crystals, the Isomalt crystals dissolved, we can start measuring. Okay, and from time to time, we check the temperature, and we are at 140. So another few minutes, and we're there. Once you reach 140, actually we can also add the food color. In this case, I add a little bit white. As you can see, the water is immediately evaporating. And we have what looks like somewhat like milk. So now we can switch down. We add a few drops of pink or red. In this case, I just want to not completely stir it in, just lightly. So now we need to leave it as you can see, it's still bubbling quite a lot, so we'll remove it to the side. Then also I will need to pour this into molds, just something like this. And of course pouring from the pan is possible, but it's difficult to control. So I use something from metal, like a saucier, because again, 160 degrees, it will be really hot. Now the bubbling has subsided, but it's still quite hot. So we pour some into our container, ready to pour. And you have to work with it while it's still fairly hot. And again, remember, do not touch. Then we start pouring it into our mold. Nice, gently, carefully. Remember, extremely hot. So until now mold is nicely filled up. Okay. Now, please do not move this one, leave it somewhere until it's cooled down completely, because it will set. Now it's warm, it's still movable, flexible. If you move it now, you get wrinkles or all kinds of things. So we leave it till it's completely cool. So in the meantime, I prepared some mise en place, like we say in the kitchen. Similar to this, but with different colors, different shapes. Anything really you like to do, you fancy, you want to create. And again, with Chicago Mold School, you get a fantastic array of silicons. Like here, we have in the shape of a dolphin. So now I can remove the silicon, which is a wonderful material. It's non-stick. You can freeze it, you can bake it, and you can pour hot sugar on it. And there you go, you have a nice dolphin. So also to remove particularly big pieces, what I do is I shift the mold a little bit towards me to tilt, so carefully I can remove my items. And especially with the bigger ones, again, carefully, because remember, it is like glass, so it will break also like glass. So we want to be careful, because we want to get the piece out in one piece, not in several. So, and rather move the mold than your showpiece. There we go. See, beautiful, shiny, really nice. Now let me clear that. We want to assemble some pieces together. So first we need a nice plate, something. And when the sugar was still hot, I put a small amount of sugar there to make a base so that I connect anything to the plate directly. It will not come off. So let's say we have here our beautiful lady, and we want to, of course, her to stand up. So we need to have the sugar a little bit softened, and we can use a blowtorch for that. So, but be careful again, hot. So we fire up a little bit, melt that sugar a little bit. The sugar here, just lightly, enough, and stick them together. It's like a super glue. It's fantastic, and we have to wait a little bit until the sugar cools and hardens just by itself. And there we are already. There you go. And then again, with several pieces with different colors, again, we can glue everything together and create something beautiful, small centerpiece for either for a table, for a buffet, and. Here at HTMi, we create. We don't copy, so we always create something new, something wonderful every time we do. There we go. Very simple. Bit of Isomalt, food color, a mold, a little bit temperature, cooking the right temperature, pouring, waiting till the item is cold, putting together. Beautiful. Something we just did. And again, you can see, like for a wedding, for an engagement, something, black and white with a bit of pink. Here I have a black plate, so to make a nice contrast to that. You can do Valentine's is coming soon, so of course hearts, again some chocolates for the loved one, creativity has no limits. So there you go. Simple, easy, beautiful. It's edible as well, and it will last, depending on climate condition, maybe a week or two even. So it's something you can even put in your cupboard. And with that, bada bing, bada boom, best wishes and great dishes.